Are you trying to figure out which camera is right for you, but you're feeling lost in the sea of options? It feels like there are countless cameras to choose from, and you're confused on which one to pick.
Choosing the right camera and gear for wedding photography can be overwhelming.
Will that $1,000 Sony camera be okay, or should I spend $4,000 on that Canon camera? Or should I buy my dream Leica that costs $9,000? We can all lust over certain gear, but what are the gear essentials you need to get the job done? We're Trent and Jessie. We're wedding photographers from Brisbane, Australia, and over the last 10 years we've shot over 300 weddings. And in this video, we'll share the must-have tools that will get you started with weddings. Elevate your photography and feel prepared for all the scenarios on a wedding day.
We've also prepared a free gear list for you to download, covering all the gear that we mentioned in this video, but we'll tell you more about that a little later on.
A wedding day is a once-off. You don't get any redos. If your camera gear isn't up to the task, you're going to miss capturing a couple's most special day. A few years ago, during a wedding ceremony, one of our lenses stopped working. It turned out that the autofocus motor in the lens stopped working. Definitely not something you want to happen during the most important part of a wedding day.
Thankfully, we were prepared with backup gear. We could continue shooting the ceremony because we had other options. We had another lens we could use and we could keep on going. So this is our first point. Have backups. Don't just turn up with one camera, make sure you have at least 2 cameras with you on the wedding day. And it's best to also have multiple lenses just in case something goes wrong with one of them. It's much better to be able to problem solve and troubleshoot on the day rather than having to tell your couple that something went wrong with your camera or your lens and you missed the most important part of their ceremony.
But just because you have a minimum of 2 cameras on you doesn't mean you're out of the woods yet. You can stand to lose all of your images if you don't have this one system in place.
So you're happily shooting away, capturing all those wonderful moments that you know your couples will love, and suddenly you get an error on your camera. It just so happens that your memory card has corrupted and all the images are gone. Your heart sinks. You feel sick in your stomach. How could this happen?
So don't be that rookie. You need to have dual card slots in your camera for this exact reason. Shoot to 2 cards and have your camera set to write the images to both cards simultaneously. If something happens to your main card, you'll have an instant backup on the second card. We can't stress this enough. Don't run the risk of losing these precious images.
Precious. It really does give us so much peace of mind knowing that our images are being backed up to 2 cards. Okay, so you've got your 2 cameras minimum and you're shooting to dual memory cards. But how do you capture all the variety of events of a wedding day? Your camera gear needs to work well in so many different scenarios. You will likely face dimly lit interiors for prep time, then straight into bright sun for the ceremony. And more often than not, you'll be met with a moody or candle-lit, fairly dark reception space. You'll need versatile lenses to cope with all of these challenges.
We love to shoot with prime lenses for this exact reason. They cope well with low light situations, and we know we can get the shots we need without blasting flash at people. Having prime lenses means you'll be changing lenses more often throughout the day. So if you're a photographer that finds that annoying, fast zoom lenses might be for you. Just make sure the zoom lenses you choose have wide apertures like f2 or f2.8. You will be able to shoot available light a lot easier.
So whether you decide on prime or zoom lenses, it's best to have a versatile range of focal lengths. Have a wide angle like 24mm all the way through to telephotos like 85, 135 or a 200. Even though you've invested in versatile lenses that will get you through an entire day, you might find that some low light situations are extreme and you just need a bit more light. It may mean the difference between getting the shot or missing the moment. It's a bit of a trend at the moment and you've likely seen thousands of images that look like this, but it's an important piece of gear to have in your kit.
Having a flash in your bag is essential for those low light moments. It's a great tool to use on the dance floor as guests are getting a little bit wild, but also for other key moments like when your couple are entering their reception.
You can even use it as a stylistic choice during daylight scenes or to change up your detail shots during the prep time. However you use it, make sure you choose a flash that's powerful enough to use in a variety of different scenarios. Some smaller flashes just aren't powerful enough if you're thinking about bouncing it off a high ceiling or if you want to use it during the day.
You might be tempted to get the cheapest camera just to save a little bit of money, but there is a reason why investing in something a little bit more expensive now will save you more money in the future. Most couples don't want it to rain on their wedding day, but this is something out of your control. Something in your control is having a camera with good weather sealing. So why does this matter?
We've shot weddings in the pouring rain, and if our cameras didn't have good weather sealing, they would have drowned and died. Even light rain can kill a camera if it doesn't have good weather sealing. So it's important to invest in a camera that has good weather seals so you can continue shooting if the weather isn't completely desirable.
Good weather or bad weather, It's again important to be prepared so you can get through the day without missing important moments. It's something so simple, but can easily be overlooked and will catch you out if you're not prepared.
Having enough memory cards and fully charged batteries to get you through the day is so important. This is something we're doing the day before a wedding, so we're not running around the morning of trying to figure out which batteries are charged or not. We're also making sure we have plenty of memory cards formatted and ready to go, so we're prepared and ready the day before a wedding.
If you're shooting multiple memory cards throughout the day, there is one little hack that can save you headaches later on. Once we've filled up one set of memory cards, we put them back in our card case, back to front. This visually shows us that we have used those cards and we can't use them again. It also helps when we're transferring images at the end of the day. We know exactly which cards we have used.
In the end, it doesn't really matter which camera system or brand you go with, just look for these things when you're deciding on the camera that's right for you.
But if you got this far in the video and you're just like, tell me which camera to get, then here's the TLDR.
Here are some camera models from different brands that we would suggest looking at.
All of these cameras feature dual memory card slots, weather sealing, a lineup of lenses that would suit wedding photography, and a minimum of 24 megapixels, which we think is a great starting point for a camera for wedding photography. So from Sony, you could check out the A7 III or the A7 IV. From Canon, you can check out the R6 Mark II or the R5. From Nikon, you could check out the Z6 Mark II or Z7 Mark II. And from Fujifilm, check out the X-T5 or XH2S.
So there are some things to consider when investing in camera gear for weddings. You ultimately don't need to buy the flagship camera, but these are the features you should look for in a camera. We've created a list of these cameras and all the gear and accessories that would be worth checking out if you're just starting out as a wedding photographer. There's a link to download in the description.
Most cameras these days are great in a variety of lighting scenarios, but when it comes to using your flash, you might feel daunted at the thought. So check out this video next, where we cover 3 tips to get the flash look. We'll see you in the next video.